There are some pictures on the internet that show a graph of the learning curve of different MMOs, and the learning cliff of EVE is rendered like this horrible unmountable cliff with people falling off it and excavators moving the bodies around. It's a common almost misconception that EVE is a horribly complicated game. Now the thing is that EVE is a big and deep and vast game, and granted, it's challenging to learn all the features and all the things that you can do within EVE over a short period of time. But it would also be hard to learn any job or every trade on Earth in a short amount of time. The thing is that you actually don't need to learn all of them at once. However, we want to kind of help people into the game better, ease the transition into the game. EVE has always been a strategic thinking man / woman's game. So we are probably never gonna dumb it totally down and paint it pink, but we want to make it easier for you to at least understand what's going on in there and to get started. And that's our key focus for what we refer to as the new player experience. The new player experience revolves around the first, sometimes just the first hours and sometimes the first weeks of a player's lifetime. So we have a task force that's dedicated to make these moments as easy as possible and help them guide people into the actual game and really discover its full potential within that short amount of time. Now we're doing several things. For instance, we are modifying the character creation in the game so that there are less choices to be made up front. As it was, EVE presented you with a multitude of choices about your schooling, your attributes and ancestry, which affected your skills and attributes. And we found that most new players actually don't realize what they're choosing. They may think that charisma is just going to make them popular, while it affects certain parameters in the game which they actually may not be after. So what we did is we took a lot of these choices and we moved them further into the game. So there's less choices to be made at the beginning and a greater chance to define what you want to be, your roles and your skills as you're progressing through the game. One of the things that we did, for instance, is we took the skills that used to be given to you up front, just at the moment you logged into the game. We took many of them away, which were very specialized, but we allow you to train them twice as fast during your first weeks of gameplay. And this allows you to be more in control, to custom pick exactly which skills you want. You still get them very quickly, but you don't get any redundant stuff that you don't need. And also you're able to read up about the skills and realize what each skill is about. But since we sped up the skill training, we had also, well, many people who had played EVE knew that when you'd be setting skills to train, sometimes a skill would finish after 4 hours or 2 hours or 8 hours, and then it'd be time to set another skill. Now in EVE you couldn't queue them up, which meant that some unfortunate people were setting alarm clocks to go off at 4 AM in the morning to train skills. While this is anecdotally funny, it's rather annoying when you're the player. So we created a skill queue which allows you to stack up skills 24 hours into the future. Now you could put, after 23 hours, put a skill there that's going to extend 4 months or whatever, and that's fine. It's just you can only stack skills that start in less than 24 hours. And we actually hope that our players are going to be able to get a full night's sleep as a result. We also created a new epic mission using our new epic mission systems, which means that we can sequentially arrange a series of missions with different win or lose conditions. This system allows you actually to lose a mission and you don't fail the entire tree. You just branch off to another set of missions. This makes for a much more engaging mission experience and allows us to create large epic scenarios, 80 missions deep, that may take you, I don't know, weeks or months to finish, but of course yield very good rewards and good rewards in between as well. And very often end up with a horrible end boss or something like that. And we created one mission like this for the NPE, and that mission will actually take you through the 4 different races. You'll be introduced to the 4 different races of Eve, and a lot of the gameplay and a lot of the backstory of the game. And what's great about this mission is that it doesn't expire. So you can start it, you can start exploring and then be sidetracked by just meeting up with some friends or doing whatever, and then come back to this mission a day later, a week later, or even a month later. It just sits there, so you can progress through it at your own leisure. We've also improved our tutorials, taking a strong look at exactly what they're supposed to be telling you and what they're supposed to be teaching you, and what they actually don't need to be telling you and what they don't need to teach you at that moment in time. Our tutorials are an ongoing project. We're always trying to kind of refine them and polish them. So, and we base a lot of it on just player reactions, and we do playtesting on them, extensive playtesting. So our goal is to have them as little of a waste of time. Personally, I hate tutorials, but still be engaging and really informative about the key issues that you need to know. But of course, the best way to learn is to kind of experiment and try things on your own. So the tutorial doesn't go into macro managing you into twiddly little details that you really would discover on your own.